Wolverinos, we're gonna start off by making this bow. This has the cutest pink glitter and a plaid in the background, which I love. And this bow is gonna be a funky bow, but we want to pop in a little bit of length in a couple of the tails. So I'm gonna start off here by just trimming this at an angle. That's, you know, one of my go-tos opposed to just doing the dovetail. So instead of 8 inches on this particular first tail, let's go longer. Let's go. That's 20. Let's go like 26. So a nice long tail, okay? And I'm gonna put that one in and I'm gonna twist. Now, I'm gonna make my loops big and loopy. So let's go out at 7 and I'm gonna twist here. And then we're gonna go on the other side out to 7 inches and twist. Okay, so we're gonna build this bow up layer by layer. And I wanna make it a couple at 7 inches on either side. Let's do 3. Let's go ahead and do 3 at 7. Let's make it big and bold. This type of bow, we want to be able to utilize greenery coming out of it and really make a nice springy design and let the ribbon be such a focal point in our design. You can use these for wreaths or centerpieces. I've taught both in design school and we've played with both kind of combos. So here, I'm going to cut those at opposite angles on those tails. And you can see here, I've already got my 3 loops. So my 3 loops are here. Do you see how much movement they have and how, oh, see how big they are? You need them like this for this look, okay? So that's a great start. Now I'm going to put my next layer on. I don't have to go crazy. We're going to put 2 on. And I'm just going to cut the angle to match the angle cut on the other side. I'm marking on the right side right now. And now these will be shorter. These will be about 8 inches, okay? I don't need them as long. So 8-inch tail. Come in, we're gonna do 2 of these at 6 inches now. So just decreasing that size ever so slightly. Yeah, twist. I love it. 6 inches here. And go on that other side. All right, twist it. And now I'm gonna have that tail also be 8 inches. So I'm gonna cut that at an angle. Super duper cute. I love it. So we've got those 2 tails kind of coming up the top. I've got my long tails working out here. Beautiful. I really just need to do my finishing touch in the center now. So I'm going to make this tail about 8 also. It doesn't need to be as long as that first one we put in. And just 1 loop in the middle at 5 inches. You always want to decrease that loop size so you come in towards the center. So super important. Trim this the other way. All right, we got the basics of our bow done. Now let's take it off our bow maker and start to work right on the design we want to do with it while we're fluffing it out. Okay, so add some pressure to that. The magic happens when we start to do the fluff. So rotate that around. See how it's still not tight? That's really important. We're going to keep it nice and loose. And we want to separate all of our loops so that you get all that good motion. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. Get that loop in the center also popping forward. It needs to kind of ground all the motion from the outside to the inside. All right, and once I'm done, I'm going to put a cable tie in the back because that's how we're going to attach it to our wreath base when we're all done. So pulling it down super tight, now trim that off. Boom shakalaka. Look at here. Isn't that cute? I love it. Now, I have to cover the center. Y'all, this is so adorable. Look at all the loops. That's what we want. Nice and frilly, full. So now take a strip of your same ribbon. If you can get it at least 10 inches. If you try to do it shorter, you'll just be fighting it and you'll say, Keleas told me to do it 10 inches and I didn't. And now I'm fighting it. Just keep it longer, 10 to 12 inches. It's just easier. Now I'm going to set it up where there's a little bit of a heart in the middle to add a little detail. Take and flip that over, put a couple knots in. And guess what? Guess what? You've done it. You have done it. You tied an adorable Valentine bow. And we are going to use this on a project. I need to put the bow where I want my design to start from. It's up to you what you choose for a location for your bow. But I'm going to go right here, just a little bit down from If this were 6 o'clock and that's 9 o'clock, just kind of go right in the middle. So I'm going to take and cable tie this onto my base. I already had that built into the back of my bow, and I'm going to put it in there tight. And then I'm going to take and just make sure I give it a little twist over and fluff out the loops so I can see where they're going to be. Okay, this is an easy starting point here. And now I want you to come and start to build up the greenery from here, because we want all the greenery to come from the flower and cascade out from that. I'm going to start off with some of these. We have 4 of these that come in this kit. And yes, if you want to grab this kit, just say kit in the comments before. We'll shoot you the link for the latest kit. Now, I'm going to take and separate these into sections. It will separate into 3, but one of them is a little bit smaller, and we don't need any cuts quite that short. So we're going to do a long cut and one short cut. So I'm going to grab my wire cutters, and we're going to do this with every stem. We're going to break them down into sections like this. Okay? I like to teach in design school how, of course, placement and direction and transition, and how to get that clean looking design with your pieces. And that's one of the things we're going to do here. We're going to create those lines. I'm going to go ahead and cut up each stem. So I've got all of these with a longer piece and a shorter piece. I'm going to do that first. All right, when you're all done cutting these pieces up, you're going to have 4 long ones and 4 short ones. We're going to start with those long ones first because we got to set out our perimeter. So I'm going to start up here. Hi. Hi. Say hi to the wreath, but we're going way up high. Going up high to start to set my direction. So I'm going to put this in, and it's got a cute little berry and a greenery. I love that I get both for one. Now I'm going to keep working in more towards the center of my bow right here. I'm going to scoot this over. We're going to come down just a little. Have this one come out. Beautiful. I'm going to put a little bit of Spanish moss. Anytime I need to cover up glue or create tension in a space, I'm going to add Spanish moss. Now I'm going to put one more to the center. That one could be a little bit shorter. Doesn't need to have the length of the others. And this one I'm going to pull that bow forward because I want to work like I'm coming right out from the bow. And you know what? I did not cut that little cable tie off earlier. I got so excited. I'm going to pull the nub under the bow so it's hidden. I'm so excited that I didn't cut it. Okay, don't worry if your bow gets a little wonky. We're going to fluff it. This one's going to work to the inside. I'm also kind of paying attention to where my berries are on these stems because I don't want to use all the berries just in one area. I want to have good separation in them. Kind of to bring that white berry throughout the piece because it works like our filler flower and it really fills in. All right, now I'm going to come below and we're going to do similar type thing. I'm going to push that bow out of my way. I'm going to take a long one, put the long one in first. And we're going to have that kind of come way out here at the bottom. So when I talk about, you know, we're creating a line, I'm kind of creating a line of how I want my eye to go through this design and flow down. So you think about how long you want that to be. Now I'm going to take these two longer, one of the longer pieces and come out here on the left side over here. I want to make it feel like it's coming out of the bow. And we're going to work on some more pieces coming more directly out of the bow, but we just have to set our perimeter first here. Okay? And one more to the inside. Shake hands with it. Shake hands. Hello, nice to meet you. Shake hands means I'm fluffing out a pick, guys. If you've never heard me say that, that means I'm just fluffing it out. You want to buy really nice quality florals that have wire in them. You want to stay away from discount stores and really inexpensive pieces because a lot of times they're not going to hold up for the long run, and you spend a lot of time prepping them. So do you want to spend hours making it, or you want to spend hours enjoying it? I want to get it made pretty and made to last. Okay, my 6 pieces of greenery are in to start. Look at the pretty lines we've got. Isn't it gorgeous? That's where we are right now. All right, next step. We want to grab and make our heart picks. We're going to make these ourselves out of some curly spiral picks. When these picks come, they come like this with 3 curls on them. And I'm going to take and cut them to where they all have a good amount of wire. And we're going to turn them into their own little hearts. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 of these, and then I'm going to come and make them come together and make that sweet little heart. And we're going to take and attach them to their main stem. This is the stem that was left. And then I'm going to put that in the middle. And once we get that all cute and tied together, we'll have our own little heart. I'm going to take a cable tie to secure that first. And I just do that because I'm adding such a large stem to the bottom here. Get it nice and tight. Right here. And then you want to grab some floral tape. And floral tape is a tape that kind of sticks to itself. I love that I can make fat hearts or I can make tall, skinny hearts. You could do whatever you want. So cute. I'm gonna grab the floral tape and we're gonna trim off that little green piece. Now get the floral tape. And this is where you kind of neaten it up and you make it look polished and finished and hold the stem in there tight. So hold on a second. When I get this all tightly taped, go round and round and round. And we won't cut the longer stem till we get ready to put it in our wreath because we don't know exactly how long we want that to be. I'm gonna go down and roll back up. So I want to try to make it look neat and clean. And if it tears, it's okay. Just stretch it, put it back on. We'll cover up the tear. I'm gonna go over that little cable tie mount. See, round and round. When you're happy with it, you're like, I feel like that is good and nice and secure. Then I can take and manipulate this heart to whatever shape I want it to be. Isn't that super duper cute? Don't you love it? I love it. Okay, so we're gonna make 3 of these hearts for this piece. And like I said, before you cut this, let's decide how high we want them. So I've already made a couple more. We've got 3. And I'm gonna put one, I think, right here, one here, and then the third one, we'll kind of use it upside down and come into this zone down at the bottom. So let's take this one. And I'm going to use it, it's got a nice long stem, so I think I might use it right in here, kind of coming straight from the bow area. So I'm going to give that a swirl in my glue. I'm going in my hot glue. I'm going to come down here and pop it. Ooh, that's cute already. I love it. Let me get it down just a little bit more if possible. Yes. Okay, and you can fluff those back up. I'm in love already. I love this. It's so cute. Okay, now let's go back off to the right with another one. So let me make sure my tape's on here good because I see the tape kind of needs a little loving. I'm going to trim it a little bit shorter. Once I know where I'm going to go with it, then trim it. Just leave those stems long until that moment because then you don't have to spend a lot of extra time building up the base. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? Isn't that precious? We've got 2 hearts in so far. It's looking super cute. Now let's bring a heart to the bottom. I'm just gonna move her up a little bit so you can see really good where the heart's gonna come to the bottom here. I'm gonna use it upside down. I think it's precious upside down anyway. I'm gonna come in right in here and have this one come for the bottom. So when you see all 3 together, that's what you're gonna see. Isn't that perfect? I'm gonna get it loaded with glue on my stem. Move your ribbon kind of out of the way. This is why I don't put the bow on to the end, but in this case, the bow is really our focal point of the design. So I needed to make sure all of these hearts were gonna pop out of there at the right length. Okay, she's looking adorable. Now, let's fluff out the bow for a second so we can kind of see her full potential. I'm gonna bring these really long tails to the background of the design. I like that because they don't need to be in the foreground. Okay, let's bring it here. Look at how cute. All right, great. We've got this left, greenery, and then we have this magical fishtail fern. Fishtail fern, if you've never worked with fishtail before, you really want to get you some. It's exclusive to Keleas.com, and I have this made special for us. The neat thing about that is it's wispy and it adds this really great dimension to your pieces. So make sure you play with it sometime. If you grab this kit, it's a great time for you to experiment with it and see what I'm talking about. It's kind of essential for spring because of that great movement it gives your work. So we're gonna use that first and then we're gonna hold on to these to use in just a second. So we wanna take these and I wanna push them down a little bit. So when you actually say push them down, I'm pulling up the greenery to make them a little bit shorter. And in turn, it makes the bush a little thicker. I love, love, love that. Okay, see here? Isn't that gorgeous? Now I'm gonna take and trim these off to about 1 inch each. So we get this nice length on the stem, just like that. Now I'm gonna start putting these in. We're gonna start right from the bow and build out from there. So I'm gonna come in right here. And we're starting to put this between the loops, baby, because I want to feel the wispiness. Let's put 2 at the top. I'll put that one on the left. And let's come in on the right with this one. We'll put this one right here. This baby's adorable. And I like to do what we call break the plane in design school, is we want to have some dimension created by layering not only colors, but also when we layer in our beautiful greenery. So I've got 2 there. I'm going to use 2 down here, coming towards the front. Coming to the front. Let's go right here. I want to go right above these florals to kind of lay in between the layers of the bow right there. There's already a floral here. Now let's go on this other side. Let's go on this side, and I'm going to bring that one up a little bit. And I love how this piece layers up together so pretty. That dimension is really the way you're going to get a higher value for your pieces. All right, we did great there. Now I want a little bit more tight to the bow, a little bit more. So I'm going to take one of these, and we're going to do this little magical pull a little bit more. The key is don't pull it all off the stem, but you can see how we make this sweet little cluster. That sweet little cluster looks like $1,000,000 coming right out of the bottom of the bow right here. I'm going to glue it in and make sure it's going into the grapevine. And then give it a little bit. Oh, can you see how cute it is? Yes, that makes me happy right there. That little touch. We've done really good with the wispiness over here. We need a little bit up higher to kind of extend into that heart, the second heart. So let's do that really quick. Y'all, this is adorable. And I can't wait to see you make your own. You've got to grab the kit from Keleas.com. The nice thing about kitting kits for any season is it just keeps the supplies to a minimum. You can experiment with it. You can see, do I like this floral designing? Am I enjoying making it? You don't have a huge expense and a bunch of supplies piled up in a room, but you have what you need to complete a project. Once you do that and you play with it, if you like it, you can explore some more kits. And then if you like it more, you can come join us in class. And we break down each project step by step and make it just really easy for you to learn how to create like this every day. And you know, the fun and joy and the peace and the relaxation you get from doing floral design is truly lovely. And it's I call it my happy place when I get in here and get to create. All right, last steps. Blue Merinos, we're gonna take and add the white and the green. We want to have that kind of work in now with to the bow also. We want to get that really wispy look. We're doing pretty good top and bottom, but now we need some help left and right. So these stems can break into a couple of pieces like this. Okay, so if possible, we want to try to use it like that, a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to take and break them down. Now, because these are wired, nice premium stem, I'm going to be able to take and just twist that around. And that's going to make its own little bush, all right? If you were using something cheaper in plastic, you wouldn't be able to do that. But I love that we have the wires in ours. You know, we try to get them wired tip to tip if possible, because that gives you all that depth and dimension. All right, these are going to go in left and right. We just talked about that. So let's take this one and we're going to use it over to the right here. So I'm going to pull up a layer of the bow, kind of make some room in between where I'm coming out, and we're going to pop that in. And you see that's going to come between those layers. Now I'll put one more down here, coming this way. Come on. Let's get this one in too. Right in here, spread those little loopies out. We'll go right in here. And it doesn't have to necessarily go exactly there. You can use the wires to manipulate it where you want it to be. There we go. You see what I'm saying? Big difference in this side of the bow than in this side of the bow. And we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there in just a second. We're gonna get this side looking like this side. Oh, y'all. You guys are gonna be making premium wreaths that are adorable, that are not like anybody else's, because I'm gonna make sure we stay different. We're gonna stay different and we're gonna stay on trend, but we're gonna have fun and be different without being too crazy. Because I want you to be able to sell your work also. And classical pieces always sell. Yep. And this is adorable. And pink is still trending, guys. If you didn't know, pink is still super trendy for all the seasons. Even the color of the year is more corally, but still, let's just call it a corally pink, you know? Let's call it that. Okay, I'm gonna put my last piece in. Twist those around so you get a nice little cluster. And then you do need to trim these wild wires at the bottom, otherwise you'll just get so frustrated trying to put it all in there. Trim them off. Make a nice, neat, clean cut. I'm gonna come up above here. Look how pretty. Oops, I just yanked it off my hood, but I'm gonna take and layer that in between. Now your very last step is, and if you are selling your pieces on Etsy, your very, very last step will be to fluff that bow before you get those final pictures to list it. Because when you're gonna list your work on Etsy, you gotta make sure that you're giving it the best picture you can, okay? If you're making for this for yourself, you make it, you get it put on your door, fluff that bow up, and then she is ready to go. I hope you had fun making this with me, and come and join us to make it again. Let's spread the love. All right, Bloomerinos, I will see you next time. Go